Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Fallout 76 and the common misconceptions that I see online as to the game, the lore, and just very minor trivial things that I've seen that I don't see a lot of people talk about. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. A lot of people, when they like to talk about the lore of the Fallout games, sometimes there are people who think that Fallout 76 is just not canon. And, you know, I feel like to a point I can get why they might have that misconception if they think, oh, well, maybe they're writing it off. Maybe they think it's not good enough. Maybe there's just so much going on that they keep adding on, and they just, maybe they just don't really play 76, so they don't know what's up with it, and so they just see them adding more and more content, and they think, oh, well, maybe it's not canon because it's multiplayer and this and that, but that's not true. We had references to Vault 76 in, I believe, Fallout 4 or 3. Fallout 76 is the earliest entry within the game series, which means that it predates all other known lore when it comes to the other games. Of course, not including, you know, pre-war, because pre-war is going to predate that, but we have new ground to cover. We don't talk about 76 much. We don't talk about the Vault much. There is some lore that you see, but there's not much. We don't cover West Virginia very much within lore, and so I think that it's actually kind of a gold mine to where Bethesda can basically do whatever they want there, because it predates everything else, and it's not going to, you know, inflict upon the stories we already have in the other games. So I think that's one of the main reasons why some people think it's not canon, is because, well, they're just adding a bunch of stuff constantly and these new updates, and why is the ghoul there? But, you know, 25 years-ish, give or take, after the bombs drop, like, Cooper Howard could be anywhere, and it doesn't say much within the expansion, but the ghoul basically mentions that he's tracked down someone and that he's just doing bounties on the side for money.
Well, maybe I'm just waiting for the right batter to fall in my lap. Maybe it's none of your business. Let's just say I followed somebody out here. Somebody I'd very much like to meet. Until we have a face-to-face, well, a man needs a hobby.
And I don't think that's hard to believe. But when people see that, I think it's just that when people see these things that Bethesda adds to 76, especially the microtransactions, they start to question the believability of 76 and Virginia and all these things that they've added. But truth be told, you know, it's give or take. Some of it is going to be just there for our enjoyment as players, and then other stuff is going to be there because it's in lore, right? Like, for example, Liberty Prime power armor. Obviously that doesn't exist. Or the Red Rocket power armor. That stuff's not going to be in universe. It's just microtransaction things that people might like to buy. And, you know, Bethesda loves their microtransactions. So another common mistake I see about 76 is people simply writing it off as bad. Now, I think that once you've spent enough time and enough hours to where you've finished every single main story, you might get bored. You know, me personally, I'm at a point where I've completed every single main quest, and so there's a lot of side quests, and truth be told, it can get boring after a while if you're not working on your seasons, or if you're not into just making your camp and building camps and doing missions with other people. Like, it's definitely not for everyone. 76 is not for everyone, and I think because of that, people get these misconceptions pretty commonly. They write it off in certain ways, or they think that it is or isn't a certain way. But if you're a 76 player, you kind of just know these things. Like, you learn these things about the world that people who don't play 76 aren't going to necessarily know as much. Some people think that Fallout 76 is just a bad game, and I think that's a misconception when it comes to the term bad game. I think that the game is enjoyable from an outside perspective. While inherently it is still a Fallout game, it behaves very differently from most Fallout games in a lot of ways. I mean, you're online with people, and truth be told, if you want to play by yourself, you're going to have to pay for it. And truthfully, if I'm being honest, 76 is more enjoyable with players. So you just have to understand that it doesn't work the same way as the other games, and because of that, I think people get angry and they say it's a bad game. But if I had to rate the game 1 out of 10 with the mindset of the other games only, if I was coming from the mindset of, oh, I only play the other games and now I'm playing this, it's a solid 6, or, you know, maybe like a 7.5. Because the thing is, you know, realistically, it's just not built the same way the other games are. It's built for a different platform. It's a live service game. It's not going to play the same. And while admittedly the story is fun, it might not be as insane as the other games. It might not be as important. That's why I don't think 76 is the best. Okay, that's what I'll say. I think it's enjoyable for what it was meant for. Live service is really fun. The story's themselves are interesting. They're not always the most interesting out of all the Fallout games, but at the end of the day, if you have nothing else to do and you don't want to play the other Fallout games, or you're just tired of them, 76 is worth a shot. So I think for sure the misconception that it's just a terrible game, it's not true. It's a misconception. I think it is in the eye of the beholder, and it's not like all the other Fallout games, but it's still enjoyable if you go into it with the mindset that it's totally something different, despite its marketing being a Fallout game. Kind of silly, I know, but those are just some of the misconceptions that I felt I would like to cover for 76. Now, if you have any other things that are more specific that I didn't cover, because I covered very broad things, then let me know in the comments, or just let me know what you think about 76. And anyways, I will see you in the next upload I make. Bye-bye.